Calling Allah Yahweh Bashim Yashab Bashim Kakatash. Double honors to the apostles of Els Great Millstone. Peace I teach you, hope for elect Shalom. And this lesson is going to be about how Meta is going to go as far as replacing computer programmers and even those who use coding with AI. Because one thing is about like AI is really starting to, take like a lot of jobs, and you will even think that computer jobs are mostly safe, but to the degree AI is getting so advanced to the point where they're even taking some jobs from those who specialize in some IT services. So it shows that you need to be specialized in a different amount of things and actually have a diversified level of skills, and even going as far as broadening your opportunities and your job skills as well. Because when it's coming to AI now, they're starting to take over, and it's going to get to the point where the job market is going to be even more scarce than it is now. So just want to get a little bit into this article. I saw it at work about a week ago, on the time that I decided to pretty much do a lesson on it. So it says from dailygalaxy.com. It was mostly from Microsoft that I saw the news article on MSN, on the Microsoft News. But it says Mark Zuckerberg announces the beginning of the end for programmers, and other companies are following in 2025. And before I get into this article, I just want to say, like, Meta is one of the companies that they own Facebook and Instagram, so they're pretty much large. And that being said, usually if you work for a company such as like Meta or maybe any other large company, they have the money to basically replace their workers with AI. They have enough capital to do that. So even if a lot of programmers are being replaced with AI from large companies, there's going to be some companies that may not have enough capital to invest in AI, that may need programmers to pretty much fulfill certain tasks. So and of course, one thing with AI is that you don't need to worry about PTO, paid time off, and putting insurance on AI and all this nonsense. You don't need to worry about going as far as even giving benefits, worrying about sick days, dealing with AI. You know what I mean? All your work is automated and everything is pretty much done for you conveniently. And let me just get to the article now. It says Mark Zuckerberg just made a bold move that could change the future of programming at Meta. AI is stepping in, and human developers may no longer have the same role they once did. Other tech giants are quietly making the same shift, and 2025 could be the turning point. So this is February 24, 2025 that this article is published by Arezki Amiri. It says the future of software development is undergoing a fundamental shift. Mark Zuckerberg has made a bold statement. In 2025, Meta will extensively utilize artificial intelligence, AI, for coding, significantly reducing the role of human programmers. This announcement aligns with a growing trend in Silicon Valley, where major technology companies are increasingly considering replacing human developers with AI-driven solutions. If AI can now function as a mid-level engineer, as Zuckerberg claims, are we approaching an era where coding becomes an algorithmic task rather than a human skill? As the new developer AI as the new developer at Meta. During a conversation with Joe Rogan, Mark Zuckerberg unveiled his vision for the future of software engineering. AI has advanced to the point where it can write code at a level comparable to that of an intermediate engineer. For Meta, the advantages are clear. Highly skilled developers can earn up to $500,000 per year, making automation an attractive cost-saving measure. By integrating AI into the software development pipeline, the company aims to optimize costs and accelerate innovation, enabling faster testing and deployment of new features. However, this transition presents a paradox. Who will oversee and correct AI-generated code? Even the most advanced AI models are prone to errors, necessitating human oversight to ensure reliability and security. A growing trend across Silicon Valley. Meta is not alone in pursuing AI-driven automation. Salesforce has announced plans to halt hiring new developers by 2025, prioritizing AI-assisted development. Meanwhile, Klarna recently reduced its workforce by 22%, citing AI's ability to handle a significant portion of tasks previously performed by human group programmers. The objective is clear: enhance efficiency while reducing operational costs. According to industry estimates, replacing a human programmer with AI could result in annual savings ranging from $100,000 to $900,000. This shift raises a crucial question. If AI can automate coding, could it also replace other roles within the tech industry? Are programmers at risk, or is their role evolving? As AI-driven automation devices advances, software engineers face a pivotal moment. Will they be gradually replaced, or will their new responsibilities shift toward new domains? Mark Zuckerberg maintains that AI will not eliminate programming jobs entirely, but will instead allow developers to focus on more strategic and creative tasks rather than writing code themselves. Engineers will increasingly supervise, refine, and optimize AI-generated code. However, history suggests that automation often leads to job displacement. While AI is currently most effective at handling repetitive coding tasks, there is a risk that entry-level and mid-level programming roles could disappear, leaving only a small number of highly specialized positions available. The broader transformation of the job market, this technological shift, is not limited to software development. If AI can automate large portions of coding, its capabilities may soon extend to other industries as well. As companies invest heavily in automation, they are preparing for a much broader workforce transformation. This raises critical ethical and social concerns. Will AI replicate existing biases in software development? Who will regulate and control AI-generated code if AI becomes the primary software engineer? Will this shift deepen economic inequalities between those who develop AI and those affected by its implementation? 2025, a turning point for the tech industry. The transition toward AI-driven development is already underway, and 2025 could mark a significant milestone. This trend appears irreversible, shifting the discussion from if AI will reshape the industry to how companies and developers will adapt to these changes. Are we witnessing the gradual disappearance of human programmers, or are we entering an era where software engineers work alongside AI, guiding its development, ensuring its reliability? The future of work is being rewritten one line of code at a time. So without further ado, I'm going to bring out some scripture. The Lord will make this lesson edifying. So this is Ecclesiastes chapter 12 verse 3 says, "In that day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves in the grinding seas, because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened, and the doors shall be shut in the streets. When the sound of the grinding is low, he shall rise at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low." And I just want to bring out, the important part of this scripture. This is pretty much, of course, going into a time where employment is pretty much going to be scarce, and I feel like AI is being that turning point that's making employment a lot more scarce, even in the IT world to a degree. But usually IT is like a safer trade when you think about it, in terms of actually having skills to keep a job, because even though AI is they automate tasks, you may not need as much people, as much programmers when you utilizing something like AI. to pretty much do a lot of tasks. I will say one thing is that, AI still has its faults and issues sometimes in the algorithm. So, that's something to also keep in mind. But at the same time, it's like, if companies invest in AI, it could come to a point where, because they put so much investment into AI to save up on costs, they may even try to cut some salaries, of people who are considered to be programmers and things of that nature, or people that are even, hold senior positions in the company. So yeah. And this year it's like, you're starting to see a lot of layoffs happening with different companies. And of course, like the major companies, the big companies that are making lots of money, they are even announcing their layoffs too. And it's really just so tragic to see how people that would think that they have a high level of job security because they're working at a decent company and they have all these skills, and yet they get pretty much laid off. It pretty much sucks, because it's like, now you're gonna have to go and through the whole unemployment process, and you're gonna have to try to find another job, and it's gonna be harder for you to find another job because the employment is pretty much a hard thing to attain nowadays, especially after you get fired and things of that nature. That's why you have to always have a decent amount of skills and make sure that you even have something to do on the side, to where if you was to be unemployed, that you could actually rely on, different skill sets to actually help you, make money, so that you won't have to rely on, working for money and things of that nature. So yeah, but that's pretty much how it is, man. Let me bring out Proverbs 28, start at verse 15. It says, as a roaring lion and a raging bear, so is a wicked ruler over the poor people. So that being said, it's coming to Esau, so-called white man. This is how he is amongst, the poor of our people. You feel me? And just amongst people, of all nations in general, because it's not just the Israelites that's going through oppression. He's putting all the other nations through it too. That's here. Even his own people at that. Showing you how ruthless he is. Showing you that this devil really has no heart even to his own kind. And you're seeing these layoffs starting to happen, at these big tech companies, and even the federal, the IRS was doing layoffs too, which I might do a separate video on that, Lord willing. And then you even have it to where the Southwest Airlines, which I did a video on that part, had their layoffs too. And the crazy thing is, they laying off, people who hold management positions and things of that nature, because realistically, all those high-level management positions is not really that important to have all those managers working in those particular positions. Just saying, especially if there's women that's working in those management positions for the most part. Because like I said, one thing is like when it's coming to the AI shit, when AI is going to be growing so much to the point where, work is just so easy now. Everybody could just chill and just have a lot of things that streamline, like the workflow is going to be automated at a whole nother level. Everything is going to be so convenient. Companies are going to catch up on this and realize that, eventually they don't need to have all these level workers here. So then that's when they can start laying off people for you know, trying to, save up and be more sustainable, and having too much people employed for a company, that's pretty much costing the company a decent amount of money, especially when they realize they don't need these amount of people to work for the company when they already have AI that's doing, majority of the work for them, And another thing too, I know this AI shit is gonna eventually lead to, the point where the scriptures say that how, Revelation 13:16, that he goes of all great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive that, mark on their right or left hand or their forehead, because one thing is, like, I feel like with this whole, all this inflation going on, and then even with AI itself starting to be a booming, internet industry in a sense, AI is a real booming field. The whole artificial intelligence is gonna get to the point where, they're gonna be starting taking a lot of jobs from people, and people gonna be losing their jobs where they were making like, 6 figures and plus, in their corporate positions. And you're gonna find it to where a lot of women gonna be losing their jobs in a sense due to AI. And to the people that had, the very few skills that, landed them a good position, and that's the only skills they can rely on, it's gonna have to take, a while for them to find a job that's gonna basically pay them the same amount that they were once making, or so, or maybe because since they were working for a private company, they ain't gonna make the same amount. They might make something maybe close to it or similar, or maybe something less to what they were making previously, So in Proverbs 29 verse 2, it says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. Right. And you see people in mainly countries like America, so this country, people are mourning due to the fact that you're going through all these issues. The CPI, consumer price index, is increasing. Cost of goods is basically going up. And at the same time, you got AI making things so hard for people to find jobs, and you got AI making shit hard as it already is. And then you got it to where these companies are very selective on who they pretty much hire. It's like you have to have multiple licenses, certifications, and even certain level of skills just to even get a position that, let's say, only requires you to have the basic skills. You know what I mean? It's like they want you to be overqualified to just attain a job that don't even pay you as much as you're supposed to be making. You see? That's why the people, like it tells you in Proverbs 29 verse 2, that how when the wicked rule, the people mourn. People are always vexing you, and you even have it to where people complaining on social media about all the shit that they're going through in their personal life. That reality has hit them, and the entertainment that they're getting isn't as comforting anymore, especially with the fact that the scripture said in Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, I believe, verse 4, if I'm not mistaken, that specific verse, or 5, it says something about how the daughters of music are being brought low. Music is a form of entertainment, so entertainment is not as exciting as it used to be. It's pretty whack and boring. It's lame. It doesn't hold that same vibe as it once did. And at the same time, people are not really entertained as much because they're being stressed out. They're working to death, and they're backed up on all type of bills. They're backed up on, all type of, debts they gotta pay. And on top of it, they're going through issues in their personal life, whether it be work related, relationships, and the list goes on. And then you mean to tell me, as hard as it is already to find jobs, AI is replacing jobs as well, making it even harder for you to even get a job. And then sometimes when the government gives you benefits, majority of times it's not even enough to pretty much, pay off like certain bills that you once, like let's say it was not able to pay off certain liabilities that you have. So you got to end up canceling the services until you're able to get back on your feet to pay it back and pay it off. And you see, and that alone should make the nation, you so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American people, wake up to reality and try to run back and serve the Heavenly Father, with the best, with all your energy and the best you can, at that point. Because, this is just like a complete, L that you just getting hit by, when it's coming to East Side society. Because it's like, at this point, people are being so stressed out, even in the world. The world is all they have to comfort them, and it's not even enough. At least at that point, when you come into the truth and understanding this truth, at least you understand what's coming down to the pipeline, and you have something that you could look up to. In the world, it's like you ain't gotten hardly anything to look up to but getting the fucking chip, and then eventually getting destroyed, for taking that, that microchip. Because that's basically what is going to be for the end of these people. They're going to take that chip to delusionally think that things is going to go back to normal, trying to get back that time period where America was great, like in the 80s or the 90s. And of course that was the peak points of America, and these stupid ass people would really try to go as far as doing everything the government says to to accomplish that. But other than that, end the lesson right there. Let's edify that today. Following law, Yahweh Shem, Shabbat Shem, Kakadash, Tabanis, Apostle, Screen, Sensation, Full Shalom.